I get a lot of requests from fans who want me to review certain NES games. Now usually, I don't have a chance to even read through all these emails, let alone play the games that are requested. But that's going to change today. In my hand, I hold a totally random viewer request, and whatever game they choose, I'm going to play and review for you all today. Here we go. Hi, Pat. Hi. I followed your videos for quite a while. Thanks. I think your videos are alright, and they even make me laugh sometimes. Though I think you're trying too hard to be funny. Trying to be funny? I thought it would be cool if you could review Loopz, a game most people have never even heard of. It's a great game, so I think you could do it justice. Just promise me that you'll give it a good 6 minutes or so, and not just do some cheap little mini review. By the way, you should lose the eyeliner. It's a little weird. Thanks. Paul. Emails appreciated, Paul. Thanks for the request, and thanks for being a fan? Fan? You want Loopz? You got Loopz.
Loopz. With a Z and not an S to be cool with the kiddies. Hopefully that's not the sound I make due to the game being boring. Get it? Zzz. Sleeping? Yeah. And this is published by Mindscape. Loopz is a simple puzzle game where the goal is to form continuous loops for points. The player is given one random piece at a time, which then has to be placed in conjunction with the others in order to form a loop. If one is formed, points are awarded based upon how big the loop is, and the loop disappears then from the screen. There are 3 game modes to choose from in Loopz. I'll just focus on A and B since they are the core game and just about the same, the only difference being the way bonus points are assigned and awarded for each. Besides the game mode, you can also select the play level you'd like to try, between 0 and 9. I'm not sure why it's not between 1 and 10. Anyone selecting 0 as their level of expertise probably isn't getting a boost of self-esteem from the game while doing so. The number of the level only affects 2 things. First, the scoring, which increases based upon the level, and the amount of time you have to place your pieces, which decreases the higher the level that is being played. Once you are all set for some loopy action, be prepared to see the same screen. The level you select does not increase when you complete a certain number of loops like Tetris does when you complete lines, there's no level complete screens, and there's no end goal. This is it! An indefinite puzzle screen where you stay until you lose or reset the game, whichever comes first. You lose when you fail to place a piece before the timer winds down, either because you ran out of time or there was no spot to put it. If this happens before the 3rd time, you'll receive a different piece to then try and place. After the 3rd time, the game's over. The controls are simple. You move your piece around on the board, use the A button to rotate it, and the B button to place it. Simple, right? It should be. However, I had real trouble getting used to this, since in most games the activate or selection button is usually the A button. So the first few times I played through the game, I was constantly screwing up by placing a piece when I only wanted to be rotating it. Ugh! I even did this at times when I was already used to the controls. It's just that sort of hard wiring that some gamers will have to get over and unlearn in order to play Loopz well. Visually, the game doesn't look too good. Your puzzle pieces are an unpleasant orange neon, and the background looks like leftover pieces from Overlord. Wow, could I have referenced a more obscure game there?
Ugh, that green background's pretty gaudy. We want to look at that for more than like 4 seconds.
In terms of general strategy, it's really difficult to have anything too specific since in Loopz, you never know what piece is coming next since they are randomly selected one at a time. It's not like Tetris where you can at least plan ahead somewhat due to seeing the next tetrad on the way. In Loopz, you really are on your toes at all times and have to try and foresee getting problematic pieces that you cannot currently use, making sure that you have space on the board to dump them off if need be. So if you get some larger pieces all in a row and cannot make a loop at the current time, a good strategy will be to leave spaces in between those pieces until you can get one or more corner pieces to connect them, and snake the loop away from trouble or to close a loop. It's not often that you'll be able to complete a loop straight away without no extra pieces left behind due to the random nature of the pieces and the inability to see ahead. So it's a good idea to try and form multiple loops simultaneously, going back and forth to complete them with successive pieces as needed. Of course, there will be times when you'll get in trouble and will be forced to dump pieces, or you'll close off a loop and be unable to finish it. Sometimes the game will give you a gopher piece, which when placed on a loop of your choice will clear it from the screen, regardless of whether or not you'd be able to complete it on your own. These are very helpful when you have a crowded screen, so you have to be sure to use them carefully to get rid of the incomplete loop that is hassling you the most. If you want to pause the game and try to plan something out, don't even think about it. The screen gets covered up when you press the pause button. I wanted to cheat! Damn you, Ian Upton and bits! There you have it. Loopz. When you lose, you'll get to enter your name if you got the highest score for the level in game mode that you were playing at. Fun!
And that's Loopz. I think I've gone through just about everything there is to say about the game. What was that, like 8, 9 minutes? Really? That's short, huh? Alright, what else can I say about this? Gotta make this review interesting and longer. Maybe I should just play with the roller rocker or something. No. Oh, there's a third game mode I forgot to talk about. Yeah, let's go over that. Loopz.
Hey, another game mode, I'm excited. This mode is a more straightforward puzzle. You start with a specific shape or design, and then pieces are taken away, leaving you with an incomplete puzzle they have to put back together. It's different, but it's more pedantic than fun, since it's not a matter of just placing the pieces back together while trying to remember the shape, but also making sure you use the correct pieces in the correct spot, and sometimes in the same order. So if you use a small piece where a larger piece will be able to be placed later, you're out of luck. There's a password to keep your progress so you can continue on and solve all 50 puzzles, but other than the guy who wrote the walkthrough on GameFAQs.com, I'm sure no one on planet Earth has even attempted to. But at least the colors are different.
Okay, I think I've covered everything. How are we doing on time, Rob? Okay. Here we go. Loopz.
What else? How about the music? I don't want to criticize the music of a puzzle game too much, but all 3 tracks are nothing to rave about. And Tune A sounds like music composed for a low-budget Nazi death camp movie. So yeah, Loopz. There's only one play screen, the colors are drab and never change in game mode A or B, and there's no end goal like you have in most puzzle games. For example, Pipe Dream, a much superior game. A good puzzle game at least allows you to try and think ahead and analyze what has to be accomplished. That doesn't occur here. What occurs is frustration and after a while, boredom. Loopz isn't great, it isn't terrible, it's extremely average, and it can only be recommended for hardcore puzzle gamers only.
Is that it? Are we done now? I don't know what else to say. I mean, this game's not interesting. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just average. There's no sequel ever? What the hell can I say about this game? Does anyone else have anything they want to add to this? Agreed. DK, Jr., anything? Loopz.